Good afternoon once again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another race in the PRL Pacific region. This is of course the Bahrain Grand Prix, round 3 of season 9. It's been a few seasons since we've won here in Bahrain and PRL. In fact, it was season 5 where we triumphed in that 2-part race with the mass disconnection, the restart and the epic battle with Chastity back in the day. But here we are in the Sauber several years later, and hopefully we'll be able to get our first pole of the season, indeed first pole on the game of any league. And we're up on our previous time, which was a fairly mediocre banker, to be honest. A couple of cars getting out of the way, one was actually perpendicular to the track. Nice braking point there, no curb on the exit. This looks pretty good so far, certainly indicated on the Delta that it's going to be a massive improvement on our first lap, which was quite untidy to say the least. At the moment I think Dregler's on pole, and we'll be hoping to make sure he doesn't win 2 in a row and extend his championship lead from the 2 points it currently is over us. Kart Dude of course also in front of us, having won in Australia in this session, but he didn't finish last week, so we did manage to overtake him in the points. So come to the line now, we'll see where we're going to be, and it's purple.
Fantastic, that was the fastest lap.
So as Jeff states, we have pole, Dregler lines up second, Maznat third, Force One in fourth, and Kart Dude in fifth. Unfortunately for Force One, he disconnected and was unable to take his grid slot, so fourth was vacant, leaving Craig with a nice run down the inside. Instantly I covered Dregler. I had a good enough start to do so. He goes to the outside. I come back towards the racing line, leaving him room. I actually went a bit deep there, but it didn't matter because no one was able to pounce, and in fact we stay in roughly the same order, at least from my perspective. Force One obviously leading the session, given that his car was not on the grid. So you can see Dregler and I starting to pull away.
Okay, clear.
He goes for a big dive at turn 1, and I saw it coming, made sure there was no contact, and thankfully was able to retain the lead around the outside. Out of shape Red Bull in the background must have been Maznat, as I grabbed the fastest lap on the first full green flag racing lap. And as you can see, by the end of lap 6, Dregler and I have pulled away. At this point, he makes a big error and pits, opting for a 2-stop strategy, which is clearly slower here. He believed his pace was good enough to catch up, as well as having softer tyres.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
I pitted after 10 laps. The car you see coming down the main straight is Maznat, who went 1 lap earlier into the pits, got a bit of an undercut, took the gap down from just under 4 seconds to just over 2. I set the fastest lap the next lap, and as you can see by the end of the race, we actually had pretty good tyre wear. I was able to manage it throughout the stint pretty well, given that Maznat wasn't catching us. We had a bit of pace in the tank, and I just made sure he didn't get within DRS. Actually, I don't think he got within 2 seconds, such was the safety margin I allowed myself. And Wayno, the other Red Bull, was able to take third. The 1-stop clearly better because Danny Rocks made a great recovery. My teammate actually made a good undercut as well, pitting really early, I believe lap 6, and got to the end having put mediums on, which was an astonishing feat of tyre preservation.
Welcome then to the podium, our top 3 drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race.
So there we are, celebrating our first win of the season, Sauber's first since the pre-season races. Double podium for Red Bull, very good drives for both of those guys, but Sauber with the most points of this round. Really happy with that race. It was a surprisingly enjoyable race, given that there was minimal battling. And now we move on to Russia in 2 weeks' time, the first European race. I've been Jacko, see you then.